I passed phase 1 of the 300k My Forex Funds challenge. Let's go. Got payouts on the 5k MFF account and passed the funded trader phase 2 all in the last 2 months. When I started this docu-series, I only set out to pass the 300k challenge, but I've accomplished so much more than that. This is episode 2 of the 300k My Forex Funds challenge docu-series. If you didn't see episode 1, please watch that video first and then return to this one. Something happened while filming this. I realized that many people love to see big account challenges, but they need to see the small challenges first. So shortly after I bought the 300k challenge, I went and bought 50k with the funded trader and decided to focus on it mainly first. I took my first 300k My Forex Funds trade on the trade I used to pass the TFT phase 2. You'll see all of this in the episode. So here are all the updates from the past 2 months. Number 1, I passed the 300k My Forex Funds challenge. Number 2, took 4 payouts from MFF from my 2 other accounts. Number 3, passed the 50k, the funded trader, phase 2, and now I'm fully funded. Number 4, I passed phase 1 of the True Forex Funds account, currently in phase 2. And number 5, passed the 300k top tier challenge. So a quick word to all of you that were asking about episode 2. People were asking me about the 300k challenge. I decided to close out the 50k challenge first and then return to the 300k challenge. People were asking if I failed. No, I've actually done a lot better than you thought in the last 2 months. Many times people out of desperation are taking challenges and rushing, but it takes strategy. You'll see in the docu-series that I've only taken a few solid A setups to pass this challenge. So let's talk about the timeline. February 15th is when I dropped episode 1 showing the purchase of the 300k MFF account. February 17th, the 5k MFF account was officially funded. February 21, you'll see the first trade on the 5k account that made 4%. March 2nd, the 50k TFT account was purchased. March 9th, the 50k TFT challenge was passed. March 10th, 50k TFT phase 2 started. March 24th, I got the first payout and refund from the 5k MFF account. On March 30th, I passed the 50k TFT phase 2 and took the very first trade on the 300k My Forex Funds challenge account with the same exact trade. Now this particular trade was funny because the market closed right before it hit the TP. So you'll see something funny happen in the episode. So April 13th is the second trading day on the 300k account, and April 26th, I beat the challenge. As you can see, I made 24,000 in 3 days of trading by waiting on solid A setups. This can also be done in the live account. I also accomplished a bunch of other things as well that I'll share in the docu-series. Once you have the skill, the sky is the limit. Now, on each day, you'll see the following. Starting with prayer, you'll see my ride to the office. You'll see me filling out the daily report card. You'll see my markup. You'll see the trading day, the live trades on the MetaTrader, and then you'll see my daily review of the film. So let's get started with day 1, but I must say this to you. This challenge was one of the hardest because I added something new to my plan, an audience. My entries were a little late and I didn't trade the best because I was fighting the voices of critique. This challenge made me a better trader and leader because I want to run a proprietary trading desk one day. So I need to be able to execute my trades while others are present without fearing critique. So if you see a little delay in my entries, if you see that I could have gotten a better R&R, it's just because when I was going to execute my plan, I had some unexpected voices. The voices said, hey, what are they gonna think? What if you make a mistake, etc., right? So that was a challenge that I have to be honest about. So thank you for your support. Now let's get into the docu-series starting with day 1. Okay, so this would have been the first trading day of the 300k challenge, but I was sick. The audio was all over the place because I started my markup at home on my couch, and then I ran to the office so that I could try to catch the trade. So I missed 2 trades this day. And then the second time I missed the trade was because I scheduled a doctor's appointment. I needed to go to the doctor because I was going to be traveling. So I missed that trade today, and then I missed the trade the next day. But I had been waiting on this trade patiently. So you're going to see my markup here and what would have been the first trade of the challenge. I'm going to voice over this. I've pieced the clips together. I'm going to voice over this and explain what happened. I want you all to understand that, when I started the challenge, I waited for the best setup, but personal circumstances came, so I didn't start right away, right? So that's one thing I want you all to see is that, number 1, you should wait. I recommend that you wait on the best setup to start the challenge. And then 2, things happen, right? So I don't rush through the challenges. I try to follow my process, and that's it. Just try to follow my process to the best of my ability. The US 30, I trade using the Wyckoff 4 phases of the market. So I start off looking at the daily, and I use the daily to form my bias, right? So what I'm going to start to do is I'm looking at the daily. It was ranging here. After going bullish, the market started to range, and what I'm waiting on is for the market to break out of that range, so either buying or selling. So once price broke out of that range with the strong bearish candle, I'm going to be looking for sales now, right? So what I was doing was I was marking up the range for you all, just to show that, just to articulate what I have been waiting on. And I believe that price was ranging for about 14 days, right? So you could have been trading the range plays, but what I wanted to do for the challenge was wait on a trending play, right? So break out of the range. So what I do is I trade the 4 market cycles. You know, the markup is an uptrend, then there's distribution, which is going to be ranging, and then there's a decline, a downtrend, break out of that range, right, for another what is called the accumulation phase, right? So after the range, after the break of the range, what I'll be waiting on is for price to return to this zone, or there's a smaller zone, there's a 4-hour zone below here. So I normally have 2 scenarios, especially with US 30, because US 30 can break multiple zones, right? So I'll be willing to pay the fee to get into the market when price reaches the 2 different zones. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here so I can get to the smaller zone. Okay, so all right, here we go. So here are my 2 scenarios, right? And I learned that having 2 scenarios or 3 is very important, because the market, it's a game. The big players are playing a game, right? And things won't always be so obvious. So I've seen US 30 retrace all the way back up here to that daily zone and touch it and then sell, the massive sell. But also I've seen US 30 come to this 4-hour zone that it broke and then sell. So I'm willing to pay the fee at both of the zones, because I have both of these scenarios in my playbook, and they both happen enough times. Now, rarely will price come all the way back through this zone and touch the supply, but what I'm doing is I'm in the process of just analyzing the chart, right? So I'm just marking up different possibilities that I see, and then it's like I have scenario A here, which will give me the best risk to reward if price comes back up to this zone, and I'm fast forwarding so that you don't have to wait through everything. And then I have here where price will just sell from that zone, right? So now I was at home then, time went by, and then I ran to the office here, and I gave myself an F because I was sick. Some of my family was sick. I didn't get to the office. I didn't start my daily report card before the market opened, right? So now I'm in the office, I'm filling out my daily report card kind of late, right? I did my prayer. I didn't do a lot of things that I normally do in my routine, right? So I ended up not trading just because that first setup, I just wasn't prepared. But now I'm in the office now, and I'm marking up, I'm filling out my daily report card, right? So I was filling out different things here, looking at the big picture. So what I normally do is I look at the most important technical levels in the market, right? For me, for my particular setups. So I'll write that down, right? So here, so this is the setup that I missed. Okay, so if you see here, this big drop, we were just looking at 2 scenarios. The first scenario was price coming up to the daily zone here and dropping. And the second scenario was price coming back to that 4-hour zone that it broke and dropping, right? So I said that I would be willing to pay the fee at both zones, because you don't know. It's a game. You don't know if it's gonna rise all the way back up there, or if it's gonna drop from this zone. So in my experience, I'd be willing to pay the fee here. If I lose 1%, and price comes up to this zone and gives price action for a sell, normally I will win, because my R&R is big, right? It's big enough, right, to take care of that 1% loss. So I missed this because I was sick. I wasn't in my office, so I ran here, and now I'm just writing my daily report card. So even though I didn't catch the trade, I'm filling in my daily report card. The daily report card is very important. It's a part of my process, right? And now what I'm looking at now still though is price broke strongly, and if it comes back up to that level, price comes back up to this level here, then I will sell it again. That's what I was looking for. I was in the office, I'm I'm looking for that to happen, right? So it's about 11:30 now, right? I got to the office really late. It's about 11:30 CST, 12 around 12:30 EST, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and fill out this report card. All right, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So I'm marking up the most important technical levels. How far is the market from important technical levels, right? So I'm writing up those things. Is the market trending up or down, right? So I'm mentioning that. And if the market is, what's the market most concerned about presently, right? So this is me understanding the big picture and forming a narrative, right? So I trade price action within a narrative, within a context, right? So I'm using the Wyckoff, the phases as to understand the narrative, as well as fundamentals like macroeconomics. So I'm using, so right now the market is most concerned about the rising interest rates, right? There was a unanimous agreement to raise the interest rates. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, by 25 basis points. Okay, so so what is moving the market? So I also like point out what's moving the market, right? If there's some fundamentals, some catalyst that's moving the market. So I'm gonna write all these things out, and then if there are any intraday fundamental, like any major events, right? CPI, unemployment, FOMC. I'm gonna be writing those out, and then I will write my important technical levels, right? Or this can be earnings. Since we trade US 30, there can be earnings calls that I'll list out here. But just this day, I was just totally off. I was sick and I was behind. It was late, right? So I'll be filling this out, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna move ahead so that you can pause this if you want to see, right? So I'm filling out this report card. I'm talking about my intuition as well. The more experience you have, the greater intuition starts to come into play, right? And then what I learned today, I'm going to mention those things as well. But this was a big day, so that's one of the things. So I wasn't feeling well. I woke up normal. I woke up later than normal, but this was a big day that I had been waiting on, right? So if I would have done a better job of going to sleep earlier and finding a way to get to my office and have things prepared, then I could have, maybe, even though I was a little under the weather, I could have still been at the office with ginger and turmeric, etc. And maybe I could have traded, right? So this is just a part of me pushing myself. This is me pushing myself personally, right? And then also before big days, one thing that I could do is pre-fill out my daily report card, right? Because I know the technical levels. I could have prepared the night before. I do that, right? But I just wasn't feeling up to it. So these are just things notes I'm jotting down. And then the easiest 10K, that's like the easiest $10,000 I can pull out from the market. That is what I'll note here. So this was a clear A setup for me that I missed, right? Which I probably could have cleared out the challenge or been up about 6 to 7% right now, right? So now fast forward to about 1 o'clock, right? So that was 11:30, about 1 o'clock. So if we fast forward to about 1 o'clock, my second entry, the second entry that I was waiting on, it came, right? So we saw the drop happened. And then now it's retracing, but I have a dilemma, right? So my dilemma is that I set up a doctor's appointment at 4 o'clock or 3:30, I believe, around there. And I really needed to have this doctor's appointment just because I needed to travel and I needed to get some, to get some antibiotics from the doctor. So what I'm doing right now is I'm marking up, I'm looking at, what I did was I went to my playbook and I started to pull up scenarios that are sort of similar, where price fell from a zone and then it went back and retested and sold again, right? So this to me is one of the most important pieces of the trading business, is having and centering our trading around the playbook, because the playbook is built with data, right? You use data, you go and back test certain setups, and you find out the average win rate, the average amount of times it hits 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, and you write the context down, you document the big picture, and you capture data so that you can be more confident. And these screenshots here are all, the purpose of these screenshots are for me to have a reference, a visual reference, so that I can be confident when I see a similar or the same type of setup, okay? So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of going through my playbook. I'm clicking on a few links and I'm bringing up some examples for me to see and to look at. So this is something that you'll see me do throughout the docu-series. This is something that I do for reassurance, number one, and just for comparison, right? To compare what is currently in the market against what I had, what I back tested. So what I'm considering at the moment is on the retest of that zone again, is to enter into a sell. Okay, so that's what I was contemplating on. So I'm looking at, so here's some other screenshots of that scenario. Again, here I was just looking at a few different dynamics between those different screenshots at the time. So I didn't take a trade for this one. I'm just talking through some logic, talking through my thoughts, what I was thinking here. What I'm trying to do is I'm taking a look and see, like, how can I get a 1 to 3 here? And then what you're gonna see is I'm gonna be waiting on price to return. So I fast forwarded here. I'm just fast forwarding so that you wouldn't have to wait through price returning. So it took some time. Now we're almost at about 3 o'clock when the market is about to close. The market is about to close, number one. And then number two, I have to go to the doctor. So I'm about to make a decision, right? And my decision is, should I put the trade on and leave? Normally, if I have to go somewhere, if I have to leave my desk and I can't manage the trade, then I won't take the trade, right? But price gave all of my confirmations, right? Price gave me the confirmations that I needed. So on the 15-minute, normally I'm entering from a 15-minute candle and 5-minute break of structure, right? So the 15-minute came back into the supply zone and gave a clear, okay, so price came back into the supply zone. So the daily is in decline, okay? The 4-hour price broke this zone, returned to it, and the 4-hour gave a supply. Massive sell, the candle closed bearish, massive sell down. They're returning to the zone to sell from a higher price, from a better price. So price comes back into that zone, and we have an evening star on the 15-minute, and in the 5-minute, we have enough confirmation as well, right? So what I'm saying to myself at the end, the market just closed, right? But if I didn't have to go to the doctor, I would have took the trade. I would have took the trade, no matter what. I would have took it. But since I had to leave and I couldn't manage the trade, I had to choose to opt out. So what you'll see me doing, and this is just my style, is I follow my process, focus on my process. So price actually hit TP and I wasn't upset. Why? Because I followed my process. Because if I didn't follow my process, I would be upset, right? So today, even though I gave myself an F just because I was sick and I couldn't approach the market like I needed to, it's an F in regards to my process, but I followed my plan, right? So I can give myself a little bit of a higher grade. I wasn't there at the open. I wasn't there an hour or an hour and a half before, so I wasn't able to take advantage of the normal processes that I have in place. So this is just the very beginning. See you in the next clip. Let's get it.
والسابقون الأولون من
Okay, on the way to the office, and right now I am very close to beating phase 2 of the funded trader. And today there's a really nice setup. Looks like it's setting up today. So I'm gonna take the 300k. I'm gonna take my first trade on the 300k challenge today. So I'm gonna take it on both. The setup is so good. It's such a high quality setup that I'm gonna take it on the funded trader challenge, 50k challenge. I'm in phase 2, and I'm gonna take it on the 300k MFF challenge, as well as my my 5k My Forex Funds challenge, and my live accounts, and my funded accounts. So I'm gonna take this one on all accounts, but I will be filming the 300k MetaTrader so that you all can see. I'll also be filming the funded trader phase 2 MetaTrader as well, so you all can see this. So let's see. It's another day. We just wake up, go look at the market, and look for setups. But today is a really nice setup. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes today. So I mean, phase 2. This phase 2 is one of the. It's all about psychology, right? Because you're so close. You've already did 10% or 8%, and now you only have to do about half of it. So it's all about psychology, right? And consistency. So if you can get over phase 1, and then you have to be able to trade consistently again to get over phase 2, right? To get another 5%. And they give you more days, which is great because you don't have to rush it, and you can just wait on high quality setup. So yeah, so that's what it is. Let's see what happens today in the market, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the office. Okay. Okay, so there was a lot going on with the audio from this day, so I decided to come back and just do a voiceover. I'm still learning how to film a docu-series. And then on my OBS settings, the resolution was too low, so the numbers may be kind of blurry. So apologize on that, but it'll be fixed in the next on the next day. And in episode 3, we shouldn't have these problems. So I'm starting off with a big picture narrative here. Just looking at how the weekly time frame formed like a double top, and then it's just been bearish for maybe like 10 weeks, right? And then price broke a daily zone and it's coming back to it. But so I'm using that first, but as I go down into the daily time frame, I'm going to actually see what I'm going to do that today, right? Because as day traders, I'm not trading the weekly time frame. I'm looking for opportunities that I can structure for the day based on what is happening in that particular day, right? So what I'm looking at here is I trade Wyckoff. So US30 was in a decline, and it was bearish, and then we saw consolidation here. So this is a sign that it could potentially be an accumulation phase, right? And a reversal. So they're fast reversal and slow reversal patterns, right? So this looks like a slow reversal pattern where it's in accumulation, and then when price broke up here to the upside, it could potentially look like it's going to sell long term. But when price fails to create a new low below here, it stops here. This was a sign to me that we're going to buy. And as price went bullish and then broke this daily zone, now I'm looking for price to come back to it. So yeah, I actually sold there where I put the red X. But now that price has broken above this daily zone, then I'm going to marking up here a demand zone on the 4-hour. We have rally-based rally. And then now, to me, what I'm looking for is for price to come back to this zone, this zone that broke the daily zone, and I'm looking for the price to come back into the zone. So marking up this 4-hour zone here where the red X is. This is a supply zone that was violated, right? So we sold from that supply zone. Now that supply zone has been violated, right? Invalidated. So this is a good sign because, you know, supply zones are meant to show where there are potentially large sell orders, and price responded to that zone at one particular point, right? And we sold, but now price has broke through. So that means there's not enough supply or aggressive sellers there to defend price, right? So now once price broke through that zone, you have sideline buyers like myself looking at what's happening, and they're most likely going to get into the position. So the larger institutions, they've built up in that accumulation phase here. They were building up a position, right, that they're going to hold, or that they can hold longer term, and then eventually to sell off. Okay, so these are my two scenarios here. Price is either going to come to this this demand zone, or price can come a little bit lower here. And what's important for me with US30 is having scenarios, right? These are my if-then scenarios. My if-then scenarios are, you know, price comes to that demand zone, then I'll buy. Price goes a little bit lower into the daily zone, I'll buy, right? And I'm willing to pay the fee to get into the market for both, right? But sometimes US30 will come touch that first zone and take off. And sometimes it'll come a little bit lower, right? So personally, that's what I am. So I'm fast forwarding here. So whenever you see this, you'll see I'm just fast forwarding this time, because what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for price to come into my zone, right? And so this is another part of it. Another part of this is just being patient. And so sometimes while I'm waiting, I'll mark up I'll redo my markup. I'll compare it to some things from my playbook, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm looking at some items from my playbook. You can't see it because it's in another screen, but what I'm doing is I'm looking at plays from my playbook right now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and I think you missed the first part of this, is I'm just writing in my daily report card. I'm doing a temperature check, right? So here I wrote that I started off the day rough. Sometimes I don't normally have to take my kids to school, but sometimes when I do, it can throw me off a little bit, just because I have to do a lot of prep, and I'll have to rush to get to the office, right? It's about 11 to 12 here now at this point, about 10:45, and I just started to write the 11 to 12 note that I'm doing well. I'm being pinged in the Discord. I didn't mean to, but I set up like a little meeting with a student. I'm well into, I have a markup, and I am just documenting everything there. So I did my markup, and I'm just documenting everything there. Because I had to take my kids to school, and my day was a little bit different, I didn't fill in this section, the comments, right? The most important technical levels, how far it is from the market, is the market trending up or down? And this happens sometimes, this is real. I didn't really do that portion. So now what I'm doing is I'm just setting up the MT4, and I'm just looking at my playbook. I'm looking at the daily uptrend and demand setup. I was just looking at that. Now I'm setting up my EA. I'm ensuring that everything is all set up correctly. So that's what you'll see here. I'm in the My Forex Funds MetaTrader. I'm just fast forwarding. This is all, so that you don't have to sit through most of that. But if you look on the left, I have 2 funded live accounts with My Forex Funds on the left, and then I had some old challenge accounts there, and the 300k account there. So I'm just here, I'm just waiting. So what you see is, you can see MetaTrader. If you look behind the screen, you can also see Trading View. So OBS, I have different screens, so I can see both. Unfortunately, you can't see both right now. But these are just things I'm learning how to do better. And So this will be the first trade on the 300k challenge. I'm also taking this trade on the this is also the trade for the phase 2 to beat the phase 2 of the funded trader as well, right? So what's happening here at this moment, I'm looking at I open up this trade because sometimes what happens is price is in that demand zone. With US30, price will touch the demand zone. It will give a few candles, like this is a 15-minute candle. I have 15-minute bullish pin bar, as well as there are candles on the 5-minute. And normally I wait for a 5-minute break of structure and a 15-minute candle for entry. That's normally what I'm looking for. But sometimes when US30 comes and touches that demand zone, it will blast off right after touching it. So I'm gonna let you see. Now I'm in the position. I'm in one position right here. This is just about 1% risk, and then now I'm looking at entering another position, because what I really wanted was my stop loss not to come here. I wanted my stop loss to be below the demand zone, right? So I got in a little early here on the 300k account. So we're gonna see what happens here. My stop loss. So now I really want to move, at this point, I wanted to move my stop loss down below this. It's the 4-hour zone is here. The demand zone is here. I wanted to move it down. But my rules are, once I open up the position, I will not move the stop loss, because then I'll be risking more than I intended, right? And it'll throw off my risk to reward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this play out, and I'm still gonna be looking for better entry. So if it drops below, drops down further down in here and gives me, confirmation, then I will be shooting. So I have my trade manager open, ready to execute. And what I'm doing is I have 1% in the market now. I'm just gonna add another 0.5%, but I'm just looking. I'm gonna add several different positions here, trying to get the best risk to reward. Ideally I want to enter here and I want to exit here. And I talked about this being challenging, and the reason why is because I'm also battling now the fact that you all will see this, right? So normally I can just execute my plan. I'm recording my screens and I have to answer only to myself. But now, as you all are watching, there are some unexpected things that came up in my mind. I'm like, it's starting to cause me to deviate a little bit from my plan, because I'm questioning, well, what if I enter and it hits a stop loss and they critique me, right? So this is something I didn't expect, right? And this is something that I had to make an adjustment with, and I'm glad it happened, because you all see that I'm self-aware. Self-awareness in trading is extremely important. So time is going by, so we're just letting this, I didn't fast forward this point because I wanted you to see, I wanted to talk to you guys about what was happening, right? So now, as price is going down deeper into the zone, you saw in the trading view that demand zone, price is further down in the demand zone, then I can get my stop loss a little bit shorter here, right? So after I enter in position, I'm going to look at my SL. I'm just going to make sure that my risk, I risk the amount that I wanted to risk, right? And so that's why I'm just hovering over the red lines there. And then I'm not fully in yet, right? Because so I'm in 1.5% right now, risk. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be looking to add more. Analysis was good. I checked my playbook. This was a play that was in my playbook, bread and butter play. After that reversal of in the accumulation, the range, and it breaks out of it, retouches and continues up the uptrend. This is bread and butter. So I'm looking to risk like about 2.5% on this one. And this trade alone, I can pass, if I get a good risk to reward here. The first position that I took was a little anxious. I didn't want to miss it. I'm thinking about you guys. I think I could have gotten a better R&R here for sure, and got my SL below the zone that I wanted. So I'm just letting it go. I'm just watching it play out. It's 11:30 now, so we'll see. Price is going to get active here soon, but this is just a waiting game, just patience. And one other thing I want you to see, I'm floating in negative 900, right? But I'm not looking at that. I'm following my process. That's it, right? So a lot of times I'll close this, but I want you all to see this, see that I'm floating in drawdown and I'm not freaking out. So I'm just floating in drawdown, right? Small amount of drawdown. And I'm trusting my setup. Okay. I'm trusting my setup. I'm trusting my analysis. I'm trusting my playbook. So since the patterns are the same, but the outcomes are random. So therefore, we have to try to keep our emotions together and not let them fluctuate with the numbers from the market. Okay, so we're gonna see something, it's gonna get real active here. There we go. All right, so now price is dropping, right? And again, there is an urge, right? A little thought to say, okay, I did get in earlier than I wanted to, right? But you'll see that I will not move that stop loss. And that's just me personally, because I've learned that following my rules and keeping my risk small, right? Not moving the stop loss and risking more than I wanted to, is something that saves me. It saves me. It saves my trading career. So what you'll see is as price is moving lower and lower towards my stop loss, you'll see that I do have there is a slight desire to move it, because I say, hey, I really wanted my stop loss lower, but I'm not going to move it. I'll let it kick me out and I'll re-enter if it kicks me out. So just watching this, I'm sure your heart is beating. You want to see the outcome. All right, now I'm going to be adding another. So now we're deeper into the demand zone. Okay, and again, when there's a big bullish move upwards and a quick retest to the demand zone, I'll use candles rather than looking for the 5-minute double bottom or the 5-minute break of structure. So I'm switching over to trading view. You can't see it right now. I'm just looking at my analysis. behind the screen. So we'll see what price does, how it reacts in the demand zone. So just patient at this moment. So right now, all I'm looking at is better R&R, better entry. I can get my stop loss underneath the zone for the next position. So price is, it's approaching the stop loss, but my position is still my analysis is still valid. That's the key. So my stop loss was hit, right? So I took like a negative 3,300, or maybe not even that much, like negative 3,000 loss, right? Because I got my stop loss was a little bit higher than I wanted. Okay, definitely. So, but what I'm looking at though, is my analysis is still valid. And as I mentioned, if I get stopped out, that's it. That's one good trade. Or if I make an execution error, like getting in earlier than I wanted to, I don't get emotional. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to read the chart. Okay. So what you'll see me do here is we're deeper into the zone now, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and enter, and I am going to have a better stop loss. Okay. And then matter of fact, actually here, this right here, we stop it here. At this point, I'm looking at the candles. You can't see them here. And what I'm doing is I'm seeing that price has not it's wicking so price is wicking I'm looking at what's happening on the 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, the daily. I'm keeping the daily time frame in mind. So I got my stop loss a lot lower now, a lot lower than that demand zone. So I'm satisfied. And again, as you see, I'm not gonna move this stop loss or remove it. Okay. If it gets hit, it gets hit. And then what I would have did differently here is I would have had this stop loss a little bit tighter, the second one, the second position, right under this demand zone. I didn't need to go so low. So that's a mistake. So once the stop loss got hit, again, a new thoughts came of like, okay, stop loss got hit. They're gonna critique me, right? But so this is making me alter my plan, right? So these are new thoughts that came up based on experience. I've never done a challenge where I filmed everything and then was going to expose it to thousands of people, right? So it's the same as you're going through your trading journey and you're recording yourself. You're going to have new feelings. When you go through phase 1 for the first time and pass it, when you get to phase 2, you're gonna have new feelings and new ideas. When you go from phase 2 to the funded account, you're gonna have new ideas, new thoughts, new doubts, new fears, right? And you have to record yourself and journal in order to reconcile those feelings, right? So you have to be self-aware. That's what it's all about, being self-aware. The other thing is confidence. So here I have confidence in the setup. This is a playbook setup. It's in a very powerful zone, right? And I got my stop loss below the zone. It's a little bit wider. It's much wider than I wanted because I could have got a much stronger R&R. But as I mentioned, I'm battling things. So it's like, oh, let me put a little bit safer because the group is watching me, right? So I'm not as aggressive as I normally am here. And then also it's like, well, let me be a good role model by being safer, right? So this caused me to alter my plan, right? So these are observations that I'm making. Now, what we're gonna see is, so I'm in the process of buying a house. So I have the broker calling me, and this is just it was kind of unavoidable. I normally try not to talk on the phone and multitask, but this is a critical time for me trying to buy the house. If you've ever bought in the house, it's a rigorous process, and they call you and they need documents, they need documentation, etc. Right? So okay, so now we see it's rejecting from the demand zone, and right now I have 2% risk. So if I wouldn't have taken that 3%, that first 1.5, yeah. If I wouldn't have took that 1% risk or hit, then and if I was still in, then I have a lot. I'd have a much larger profit at the end of this, right? But towards 12, we're gonna see that the 4-hour candle is gonna fail to break the demand zone. So that means that aggressive selling that's happening here, it's gonna become absorbed by the demand, meaning that whoever was selling, there are strong enough demand orders here to absorb, right? To absorb that sell momentum, and then we're gonna have aggressive buyers come in. So now it's just a waiting game. Again, you have to get to the point where you're in drawdown. Unless you're a scalper, you make close positions very fast. But you see this, look, we're floating in negative 2,000 drawdown. Okay, now I'm not freaking out. I'm not closing the positions early, right? I'm trusting my analysis. I'm trusting the setup. I'm trusting the playbook. Okay, and my stop loss is now it's in a good position here. If you look at this, the way that if you look at the structure here and the zones. Okay, so it's 11:45. We still won't quite see that. We still won't see that in about 15 minutes. That's when we will see a stronger move to the upside. So now I'm trading the 300k account, right? And I entered from a more of an aggressive sign, right? Because normally I want to see the 15-minute candle and a 5-minute break of structure. So once we're going to start to see that happen. Once that happens, I'm going to go to the TFT phase 2 account, and I'm going to my live accounts, and I'm going to take this trade. You'll see it. So I hit TP on several accounts. All right. So let's see. And I want you to notice something. I've seen everything happen in the market. I've seen price approach the TP by like 1 point or 1 pip and then reverse. I've seen price come so close to the stop loss and reverse, right? So the market is random. We have no idea what's going to happen. So I've learned to don't close positions. I don't close them, because what you're going to see here, just take a watch. Look at how close price gets to the stop loss. Goes down deeper into the zone. Look at how close price gets to the stop loss. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it hits. So I'm not looking at the, again, we're negative 2,700, 7,400, negative 2,600, negative 2,800, right? We're floating in drawdown, but I'm trading the daily, and my bias is that it's gonna go up. Now, if it breaks this demand zone, that's different. But as long as price holds above that zone, we're in good shape. Now look at that. Look at how close price came to the stop loss. And let's see what happens. Okay, so here at 12 o'clock, the 4-hour candle closed and did not break the demand zone. So this is a strong sign here. even though the lower time frame, these candles are smaller, what you can't see, which I didn't know in OBS, and I didn't switch over, is that the 4-hour candle actually did not break this zone. The 4-hour candle did not break the zone here, so that's a strong sign that the demand zone is going to hold. So I'll be looking at that. So we're going to see now price is going to go bullish here. So you see the 4-hour candle stopped at the demand zone. So this is a great sign. The 1 hour, it's all bearish here, but that demand zone is going to hold there, and then price is going to reverse. So this is a great sign that 4-hour candle, the 1 hour didn't break below. That's a great sign that price is going to reverse. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Now, the reason why I didn't add more risk at this particular point is because I already have about, should be about, for the day, should be about 3% risk. So if I wouldn't have taken that loss, then this would be a great profit, but it's all good. It's a part of the game. So now I'm just gonna see how price reacts on the lower time frame to start seeing stronger signs of reversal. All right, see how things can change. Overhead a little bit. All right, so move ahead a little bit, fast forward, so you don't have to sit through this. Okay, now, so I've entered, you didn't see this quite, but you see I have a 15-minute morning star here, morning star on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, I do have a break of structure, okay, on the 5-minute. So just look at this, look at the daily, just look at the daily. The daily is it's showing signs of going up, right? So keep the big, I normally keep the big picture in mind as much as possible, okay? And that way I don't get caught up on the lower time frame. Okay, so keep the big picture in mind. I don't get caught up on the lower time frame with the help of the big picture. So I entered into position on the 300k account on the TFT phase 2, which you just saw pop up on the screen. And now I'm just looking at my analysis and just reading. So instead of focusing on MetaTrader and get caught up in the numbers, what I'm doing is I'm marking up further confirmations, right? So we have a morning star on the 15-minute. I have these pin bars forming on the 15-minute as well. It's kind of hard for you to see because the resolution. And then on the 5-minute, I have a double bottom. Here, I'm just taking a look at the risk that I have. So now, if you didn't enter the position yet, because of my experience, I went ahead and entered into the position once it was deeper in the demand. But now you have the 5-minute double bottom, so you can enter and put your stop loss comfortably under this, the double bottom, right? You have 3 candles on the 15-minute. you have the double bottom on the 5 minute, it's in the demand zone, right? The 30 minute, you have candles as well. So this is a great sign that, you know, it's good to enter. So the only reason I didn't add more risk here is because I already had so much risk in the trade. But now here's the phase 2 TFT. All I need is for price to hit the TP here, and I'm done. I'm done. So you see 8 cap here. This is the phase 2, the funded trader. So now also you see one of the live accounts. This is the 5K account, the 5K My Forex Funds account. So on the 5K My Forex Funds account as well, I've entered. So you see, so this is the 300K one, but I was just there fast forwarding. So I entered on that 5K My Forex Funds account as well. And then now I'm going to the Discord. I try not to be on Discord while I trade, but since I do have the community, I drop love in there, drop analysis in there, and talk to the community as well to try to, you know, to try to motivate them. So I posted here. I posted here that I was, you know, 1.5% away from beating phase 2, the funded trader. So I posted a screenshot from my dashboard here, and I'm just being funny with the group, trying to allow them to enjoy the process with me. So I'm posting some memes, and I had posted the US 30 markup for this earlier. So just reaching out to everybody that's in the trade. You in deep blue, right? So just talking to the group and showing some love to the group. And now I'm looking at the trade markup in the background, which I didn't switch it over with OBS, so that's why you still see this one. So let me go ahead and go fast forward a little bit. So so everybody's in there catching it. They're showing their, just talking to the group, getting them fired up. Okay. All right, so now this is the TFT phase 2, and now I'm back over to the 300K account. So now look, the 300K is up 10K. All right, we're up 10K right now, and the TFT account, we're almost there. We're almost there. So we're gonna see some rejection. You're gonna see rejection, right? And at this point, since the TFT account was so close, I really wanted to focus on that one because I'm in phase 2, right? So this is I'm actually going to be funded with this account. So, you know, I was a little distracted, right, between the MFF account and the phase 2 account, right? So I had a lot going on, but this is just part of the game. Some decisions that I made. Also, the stop loss could have been tighter as well, much tighter. But yeah, so you're gonna see rejection candles. But if you think about the big picture, according to the big picture, we are looking we're looking to go up, right? The larger boys, the big institutions, once they build up this campaign, they build up this position, they're gonna be pushing that up longer term. That's what we're looking at, right? Over a few days for this to rise up, right? So that's why I wait. I'm so patient. I wait on these larger zones. I wait on I wait on the daily time frame to portray the narrative that price is going to rise, so that you know, it's a lot less stress for me, my particular personality, then I can hold these just according to my personality. So we're looking, fast forwarding it, so you can see there's going to be some rejection candles. It's going to have some retracement. That's just the nature of an uptrend. So price was on the downtrend on the 15 minute. If we read this chart, price formed the double bottom. Price can come back down here, right? We have a new high. Price can come down to create a higher low, then a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So there's going to be some retracement. And most people, and earlier in my career, whenever I saw these rejection candles and the potential of my profit being taken away, I would get out. But what I've learned, and many of the large traders, they talk about this, is once you're in a good trade and it's according to your playbook and your system, you have to learn to let that trade mature, right, and go to the TP, right? So we cut the loss shorter, but we let the win run. And you're not gonna let it run forever, you know, right? But you're gonna let the win. What you're gonna do is you're gonna let the win play out, right? And this is how you actually make money. You can have a 50% win rate with 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, and you can make great money doing that. And so you have to let the winners, like once the winner is going in your favor, you have and you've tested the targets by data, you back the targets by data, you have to let those mature. Okay. All right. So now price is approaching. We're in the phase 2 TFT. I got my hand on the trigger, right? I got my TP is appropriately placed. If I hit this TP, I'm gonna beat the phase 2. Now you notice it's 2:44 p.m. and that for me is, we're close to the end of NY. So about 13 minutes left. Now, one of the worst things that can happen is that the volume gets sucked out of the market, right? And you see we got 10 minutes left, so price is going crazy, okay? So I'm not gonna close it. I'm just gonna let it play out, okay? And I think what I was doing is I was checking to make sure that whatever profit I made, I would be up above the TP. I mean, my TP is set to where I'm up, you know, a few dollars above the target. Okay, so, man, this was an interesting moment because I'm so close to beating the TFT challenge. And so now price, the market, NY session just ended. Now we're up 12,000. So remember, we were down negative 2,000. Okay, down negative 3,000. I didn't close. Now we're up 12,000. Okay, so if you're just getting started out in trading, this is the part of the game. You have to build resilience and patience. Okay, so now I'm up on the TFT account. I went to, okay, hold on. I think we missed it. Go back. Okay, here we go. All right, so what I did, taking screenshots just for my own records. I'm gonna share these with the group. I'm gonna share these with, and put these in my playbook. Now, what I did was, so the market closed, and now on the TFT account, I went to break even. Okay, I went to break even. So even if price was to totally reverse, I don't lose after being up so high, but I don't want to close it. Why? Because once I'm in a winning position and I have the momentum of the daily zone, have the momentum of the 4 hour, then I'm not going to close, right? Because the potential to win is there. So I'd rather just go to break even and then let it play out, because now I'm in a winning position. Okay, so once I'm in a winning position, so there's a quote by Tom Hogarth. He says that when we're losing, we have hope. But when we win, we have fear. he says it should be the reverse. When we are losing, we should have fear. And when we are winning, we should hope. Meaning, when we have a hope, when we're losing, a lot of times when the price is approaching the stop loss, we have all the hope in the world. And we will move that stop loss, just hoping that price will reverse. But when we're in profit, we're fearing that our profits are gonna go away, are gonna be taken away from us. So we're fear that the profits are gonna be taken away and that price won't hit the target. But he says it should be the reverse. We should have fear when we're losing and cut those losses. And we should have hope when we are winning, right? And hold the winners. So what you'll see me here, I don't have, what I'm doing, I'm protecting myself, but I have more hope that price will go to the TP. It's not all based on hope, but he's just talking about the emotional state, because this is based on data. My data shows me that out of a certain amount of percentage of trades, price is gonna come to that rejection zone, right? So I'm going to break even. So I'm gonna break even, right? Now that I'm break even on this account, what I'm contemplating is just going ahead and closing out okay, so I just closed out. So that was, so here. So I closed out a position on, so I just closed out a position on the, okay, so here, now this is the 5K funded account, okay? And I am up about 0.5. I'm up above, like about, so this is about what, maybe 2% above, a little bit above 2% here. Okay, so it's a little bit above, almost 3%. So what you'll see me do is I close this out because I have a lot going on, right? But I'm just showing that, okay, I'm gonna be taking withdrawals from the 5K account as well, right? Just to show you that consistency matters. For you to go through phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, consistency matters. Even on a 5K account. If you can't do it on a 5K account, you're not ready for the big account, right? So I'm just demonstrating that it just takes strategy and you know, solid trades. So all right, so now I'm thinking, I'm seeing that price is breaking these zones here, right? So this is a zone, that's a minor zone. So as price breaks that minor zone, what I'm doing is I'm just gonna move my stop loss up. It's not an automatic trail, it's a manual trail here. So I'm gonna capture these profits, right? For the TFT, so that I'm inching closer and closer to passing the challenge, okay? So on the 300K account, since I have the TFT account going, what I normally would have done, what I didn't want to happen was, since the day ended, was price to reject from this zone here. You see this, it's like a double top from this zone and then drop without me taking any profit. So what I normally would have done is took 85% and let the rest run. But since I had the phase 2 TFT going, you know, I was a little excited, and I don't think I thought it all the way through, right? So I took profit here, and I just closed the positions, right? Just closed the positions, and I wrote this in my journal that I could have managed this one better, but you know, that's a part of the game, right? We are human. We don't, you know, we try to execute our plan. But again, I had a lot going on. I have the docu-series, I have everybody watching, and I have new thoughts, new emotions. So just trying to manage them in the best way. So I'm looking at TFT right now. I'm looking at how much I'm up, but you can't see it in the OBS. So let me fast forward a little bit. Okay. So now this was just interesting. The spread widened a little bit, right? So I'm trying to calculate, like, okay, based on the spread, where do I, like, how should I, like, what should my TP be, right? And there's nothing going on in the market. Look at these candles. Terrible. I mean, it's just terrible, right? So I'm just waiting here now. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting. My heart is pounding. I'm like, I'm about to pass the phase 2, the funded trader for the very first time, you know, with this 50K account. I'm excited, feeling all kinds of emotions, but it's about patience now. If price reverses, I'm very close now. I'm much closer to the goal. But I'm not going to close this position no matter what. I will not close this position because, as I mentioned, I'm going to have hope, right? When I'm winning. So, and it's all based on data. So I'm fast forward a little bit. And I'm going to be looking to close this right when we go above 5,200, 50,000, 2,500. Okay. So that's the target. So we're close. So price is approaching, it's approaching. Okay. We got some bullish candles, even though they're little baby bulls. We got some little baby bulls. But I know that this is a rejection zone here. So this is a rejection zone potentially, right? So I know that you can potentially reject. So the market is random, and that's just the game. So we're very close right now. Look at this. Look, at price is not moving. Like it's nothing in the market. Okay, we're down $3. Let's get it. Let's go. What's up? Let's go. Push, push, push. Let's go. Come on. Look at this. Nothing going on. There's barely nothing going on in the market, right? So some people, sometimes at these hours, people get into the market trying to trade, trying to do something. But if you're not already in the trade, you need to just chill out and wait. Nothing's happening right now. Nobody's in the market. Okay. I mean, you can trade it because you're trading a CFD, but NY session is over. Man, 496. Let's go. $4 away. Come on, man. Let's get it. Come on. Push, push, push. Push for you, boy. Nothing happening. That's the trip. Taking screenshots for my playbook. Okay. Come on. Push, push, push. Okay, there we go. Look, now I'm above 500 right here. Let's go. Come on. No, I don't know. I didn't close it for some reason. But see, this happens, right? When you're in a challenge, sometimes price floats a little bit above. And I don't know why I didn't close it. I don't know what happened. Maybe I got distracted. But the mouse is still over there. Maybe I walked away. Sometimes I just gotta walk away. So I won't try to close it. dead. It's dead.
Bang, bang.
Go, boy.
Bang.
Let's go. Yes, let's go. Phase 2 TFT in the bag. And you may ask, how does one person pass so many challenges, right, while other people are failing? It's a lot about mindset. It's about backed up. It's about plays that are backed up by data. Now, I made a trading error here. So NY is closed. And what I would have normally done is took 85% out of the market. Okay, took 85% out. You don't know what's going to happen, right? Because NY is closed and price is in that rejection zone. I would have taken 85% out and then kept going. But you know, you see, I'm not rushing to close it. I'm not rushing to close. But I'm up 13,000. And remember, we were down negative 3,000 at one point. Okay, so this is about resilience. This is the game. I'm looking at the TFT dashboard. You can't see it. Unfortunately, I didn't switch over. These are things I'm learning, right? How to do. But what you'll see me do is I'm going to close this out, this position. So let me see. But because I passed the TFT challenge, I wasn't thinking all the way clear. I was just ready to, you know, just move on. But price is in this rejection zone. So here, so what I'm going to ask myself is should I see if I would have gotten a better stop loss? My stop loss wasn't in the best place, but I could have been out here with like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5, right? But again, as I mentioned, I was trading more of my fears of what you all would say at the time. These are new fears, right? These are new thoughts. But really, I could have gotten a better R&R by the time I hit this rejection zone and had a 1 to 4, 1 to 5. But you know, so at this point, I'm asking myself, do I close this position, right? Or do I let it run? So the better thing to do for me, my advice would be, I would be closing at 85% here, and I would keep the rest open and go to break even. But since I just passed phase 2 TFT, I just went ahead and closed them out and just regrouped, right? Because I was already just, my mind wasn't there. So I just went ahead and closed it in profit, okay? I'm up 10,000 now. So if I wouldn't have taken that loss though, then I would have been up, that was like what, 1%, about like, you know, 2R, then, you know, I would have had another 16, right? Or maybe more. So I would have been up above 5%, but that's it. Let's go. Let's move on to the next day. This was a winning day. TFT phase 2 in the bag, 300k, My Forex Funds, first trading day, and live account, MFF, live account, we up, right? So I'm gonna take that withdrawal from the MFF account, and yeah, see you in the next day.
والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار.
Okay, starting off with the analysis, looking at the daily, we are in the markup phase. We were in reaccumulation, and now we've broken out of reaccumulation. So we broke that daily resistance, and we came back for the pullback. So I'm looking to buy now that the price comes a little bit lower. I'm looking to buy. The lower time frame is very convincing as well. Now, people normally like try to counter trend, and I understand counter trending is cool when you have sufficient evidence. So I use fast patterns and like double tops, heads and shoulders and things like that. And I use the slow patterns like distribution and accumulation, right? So it was in reaccumulation and broke out. So normally that, to me, that's a sign that price is going to continue to go up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find an entry. Okay, so now this is the time right now to get a real solid entry. So what I'm gonna do is, since it's really tanking, I'm gonna watch and see how the price reacts in this area. If the price continues to tank and fall, then let's see. Let's get a, let's wait patiently, let's get a rejection. So the last 30-minute candle close here. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, we had a breaker structure on the 5-minute. Okay, so let's see how the 15-minute closes. Could just be a deep pullback. But what we do have is on the daily, we have a big reversal candle on the daily. Here, showing some major signs of exhaustion. And we have like a breaker structure on the 4-hour. So let's see. Price is looking weak on the 5-minute and the 1-minute. Strong. We had a breaker structure here on the 1-minute. Breaker structure on the 1-minute. 5-minute broke structure. Massive bearish candles on the 5-minute. So I'm reading in real time, right? So I'm not going to enter into a buy here. We were looking good for the buy. We were at first, but we have a few things against us. We have that daily reversal candle here, strong bearish pin bar. We don't really have a pullback on the daily yet, and then also the 4-hour, we have this massive hangman candle, and then let's see, 1 hour is looking very bearish, but it can turn around just easily. So let's see how the 15-minute closes. We're gonna stay locked in here. 15-minute is looking weak. Let's see. So the market is speaking to us right now. We can get FOMO. We're in the zone, but lower time frame broke structure here. This candle is redeeming it. It is 15-minute candle is a pin bar. So that's looking a little bit better. But price is still kind of weak. So let's see how things go. If it starts to push up, I'll enter. If we get to the 1 hour and close below this zone, then it's a very strong zone. Very strong. We gotta enter here. Maybe small percent. It's not the most favorable situation because of the break. That 15-minute candle. 30-minute closes like that. It's a wrap. It's gone. The 5-minute is a key when it comes to entry, because it's a real time, showing how strong price is on a particular zone. So that break of structure in those large 5-minute candles. I didn't really like how that break happened, but the wicks on the 15-minute are strong and the 30-minute. So we're gonna stay locked in, and we'll see how this let's see. Patience. Patience is a virtue. 5-minute candle. Yep, there we go. Okay. Price is going down. So let's see. This 1 hour candle is closing bearish. Now you see how I just waited, right? I'm reading price. I'm patient. I'm not getting FOMO. And I'm taking into consideration my scenarios. So on the daily, if I look at this big, massive bearish pin bar, you know, this is a sign that there was massive supply on the daily candle, the daily time frame. So I'm not so, you know, I'm not so sold on this. But this 1 hour break of structure, that was a great sign for me. But when the market opened, we broke structure on the 5-minute back down here. So if price stalls out and doesn't, you know, it fails to go below there, then I'm shooting. So if you look at this, like we look at the 5-minute, and you look at this, just take a look at this. Price broke above here. This, I'm inverting the chart so that we can take a look at what we saw here, right? Price broke above here, right? It's still struggling, so we're not totally against our position, but we need to see bullish shine. So price breaks structure back up, then we are in. The best entries are down here. Let's see, price fails to break the 1 hour, and we are in. The price can break this zone. It's going down. Structure on, we have a double top, right, and a retest. Yeah, so look at it. Double top. Price is up here. Right, broke that little minor zone, came back to it, and retested it, and came back down. So this bullish candle was our sign to go up. But if this engulfs this one, then that's a great sign that we may be going back down. But the great news is if price goes back up here, we're going up, right? So these are our scenarios. These are our scenarios right here. So I'm just waiting. This is where the patience game comes in. This is where we stay locked in to the market. We don't get FOMO, we just wait. And read what price is giving us calmly. Okay. So the 15-minute candle is failing. Look at this. We had a pin bar that was bearish, and now it's falling, right? So look at this. Break a structure to the downside here, and look at that. A new lower high. Excuse me. So let's see. Look at the daily, and the daily still it's saying that it can reverse one. So let's see what happens. This 4-hour candle. 4-hour candle is about to close on currency. Dollar is tanking. but it's hit a rejection point where it bounced. So price can bounce. Sharp bounce. Price breaks here. Indices are flying. It's amazing. That's 100. Get into a range. Come on, 30. Give me something. You're looking weak right now. So let's see. You're looking weak for the buy. Yeah, look at this. Massive bearish 1 hour engulfing candle. 15 minute is falling below. So I'm chilling right now. Bearish engulfing. We had tweezers, but now we have a bearish engulfing here. And prices currently ending as a speaking the language. Price is speaking the language. All right, so let me set my alarm here. So we have the higher time frame bias on our side. Except for this right here, the daily structure is nasty looking. So this could be distribution with a an up thrust to trap us, to trap buyers, and then to tank it. We don't know. Oh, what's happening? All right. So we don't know, but what we do know is if price breaks above here, gives us a small retest. That's a good sign. See, if price can't break on the lower time frame, then that means it's not ready. If price fails to break here, it means it's not ready to go. Price breaks back above, that means that the sellers were not aggressive enough. Not aggressive selling pressure there. So good to go. All right, so we aim it. Let's see. Bro, I got a piece on there. All right, we got the 15 minute break of structure here. If we close the morning star to wrap, price most likely will go up. We have the 5 minute break of structure here. We return for a pullback. I'm going to put another entry there. 30 minutes looking pretty solid. 1 hour failed to close. Low, we have an engulfing candle there. 4 hours still looking great. So let's see. So we're reading structure in real time. 5 minute looks great. More structure. I need to find another entry. I got a pee, so I'm I gotta run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so now I need to figure out, I need to get me another entry. So 15-minute, ooh, beautiful. All right, so I need to get me, may not get that second entry. May get it, may not, let's see. Damn, we'll set the limit order and we will try to get another entry. And I took the same trade on my 5K account. Beautiful, more aggressive entry, but object list. Beautiful. Price is rising beautifully. Now, if I get a pullback, I can have a tighter stop loss here. So let's see if I'll get the pullback or not. Everything is looking great on all the time frames. Man, thing is rising beautifully. Trap them sellers in there. So I'm gonna stay locked in for any opportunity for a pullback and another entry. Honestly, I should have had more risk in this setup. It's just, I think the fact that I had the daily, massive daily pin bar here, even though we were sitting on the daily zone, I think that I was a little cautious there because of that. Otherwise, I have everything else on the lower time frame here. Could have got a better entry for sure. So look at this 15-minute breaker structure, and price just sat there and couldn't break that zone. So those are all great signs for entry. And once we have the price break above here on the 5-minute, we're good. So now I could walk away, but I'm gonna stay locked in. What I'm trying to look at now is to look for another entry. If you look at what price did, it broke structure on the 5-minute, rally, base, rally, right? So I'm just looking for price to come back and touch this zone here, right here. And actually it's coming back there. So let me get ready. So we have the breaker structure, 5-minute double bottom. So price comes back here. I literally will take an entry here, and I can put a tighter stop loss, like for 0.5 here. So I'm hoping that we get this retest of the zone, because if we get the retest, then I'll be able to add more positions. And if we go to the sky, this trade right here could be the one that we beat the challenge with. Okay, so now my question is, should I take profit now? And the reason why is because I am in a rejection zone. Look at this zone. Price rejected here from this zone several times, right? Price didn't go all the way up. So the question is, I'm in a winning trade, the 1 hour broke structure here. Big bullish engulfing on the 1 hour. Another big bullish engulfing here. There's no signs of a reversal. Massive bullish candles looking like this is going to break. So do I keep this trade open and just hold it, or do I take, let's say I take 85% now and let the rest ride? See, I didn't get the best entry. Responsibly, I would close part of this here at the rejection zone. I can go to break even and hold the rest. That's what the responsible thing would be to do. Not try to hold past. So let's see. That's the responsible thing to do. Okay, so that's responsible because I don't want to trade my account. You know, I want to hold for longer. But if I actually hold just because I want to hit the higher TP, then I'm trading my account. So we're gonna go, we took 85% out the market. We're gonna hold the rest. Okay, and if we hit TP, then we are risk-free right now. 314, 324.56, 314, 324.56. Okay, so we up 14K. You know, I really wanted to have perfect execution. But you know what? I'm glad that it happened like this because I want you all to see that it won't always be perfect. But if we're coming to the market, we're shooting every day, then you know we can beat this thing. So we risk free right now, and we're just gonna hold the rest. We'll let it ride. Let me check on my funded account. I think we probably hit TP on the funded account. All right, now, so let's do the same thing here. Let's partial close. Let's partial close, and we're gonna move the TP higher. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. All right, let's take a quick look at the stat. Up past 5% now, 16 days left. We are in a great place. Equity still floating. I'm gonna be patient. We're gonna let the rest of this position ride out, and then we're gonna look for our next trade. So when you get up in the account, sometimes you have the thoughts of not wanting to lose, but this is just it's a part of the game. You gotta keep following the process. That's it. That's the only way to win, is by keep following the process. Okay, so NY has closed. I'm gonna leave this running for just a little bit longer so that I can collect more data. I'm gonna do my daily report card here in a minute, and yeah, see you guys for the next trading day. So, you know, I'm a little disappointed because I didn't trade this one as well as I should have. If I would have traded it better, if I would have gave it more risk and got a better entry, then I would be done with the challenge. But you know, this is just the reality. Some days you may not perform at your best, and this is the case here. But I am happy that I'm still holding a position, and my next, you know, we're up past 5% now, and we have a good chance of passing the challenge. Once you pass 5%, you can opt for the extension. I have about 16 days left, you know, so I'll just be waiting on a really good setup. If this one hits TP, then we'll be looking at about 16, at about you know, a little bit above 6%, which is really good. All I'll do is just wait for maybe like a another 1 to 3 setup, risk 1%, and won't hold it all the way. Try to get a good entry, and you know, just close it out, close out the challenge. Okay, so I've reviewed the recording from earlier today. I'm going to go ahead and cover that right now to keep this review very short. So you don't have to see the entire thing. But overall, right now, I'm in a great place. I'm up 5% with about 16 days left. Normally, once I go up 5%, normally I'll pass it. I'll pass the challenge, especially with 16 days left. So I want to mention that even though today was a green day, for me, I wouldn't grade myself at a C. for today. And this is very important because oftentimes we see that we had a green day and we judge ourselves based on the money, but we should judge ourselves based on performance, based on our execution. And we have to execute every trade to the best of our ability every time we have an opportunity. So we have to extract as much out of our wins as possible. And I didn't do that today. So overall, my analysis followed recent playbook plays, right? But one of the main things is that I didn't get all of my risk in. This was could be an A+ setup, and I didn't get my risk in. I didn't scale in. And what I'm finding difficulty with is at the time of execution, I'm thinking about the audience. I'm thinking about you all. This is a new introduction to my plan, right? As we all have psychological hurdles that we have to get over, this is something that I'll have to train this is something that I'll have to condition myself to get over. So that's one thing. So I have to work on my psychology regarding the audience, right? Because for some reason I'm hesitating, and I'm coming up with some reasons why I should be safer, right? Instead of following my process, right? So you're seeing in real time how we all have challenges that come up, especially when we hit new milestones in our trading. You may reach a new account size, or you may introduce something new, and we have to work on the psychological barriers that come with those new circumstances, right? So my R&R for this trade was about a 1.5 instead of a 1 to 3. I could have gotten a 1 to 3, right? And then also my risk, I didn't risk as much as I should have, right? So I want to talk about 4 areas: the analysis, the entry and size, trade management, and exit, right? So my analysis followed my recent playbook setups. But one thing that I didn't pay enough attention to was in order for one setup to upgrade from A to A+, for the US 30, there's a 1 hour confirmation that happens that I've documented in my playbook. And the 1 hour has a break of structure in my target zone. That's a high possibility. That's a sign of a high probability trade, right? Because if I'm buying and there's a 1 hour break of structure, that means that for a few hours there wasn't enough aggressive sellers to break that support that I'm buying from, right? So I missed out on that. Again, I was distracted, right, with thinking of you all, thinking of critique, and this is something called performance. I think they call it performance anxiety, right? So not that I had anxiety, but it's the fact that people are watching, right? So it's the difference between, me trading alone and just doing my thing alone versus now I have people that are going to watch every single little piece of what I do, right? So this is just something that I'll have to work on, and I'll do a lot better in my next trade now that I'm journaling this, right? And I'm seeing it happen in the tape. All right, so we talked about entry. So my entry should have actually been here, right? So I should have entered here, right? So here we had a 1 hour bullish engulfing candle that broke the structure of the 1 hour. This is the 15 minute. This is the 15 minutes, so you can't see that exactly here. You'll see it in the next chart that I pull up. You can see it here. Okay, so here we had like a double bottom on the 1 hour form, right, in the daily zone. This bullish engulfing in the 1 hour, and normally there'll be a retracement, right? And this retracement happened here, and normally this is where you can get a really good entry, right? It's just a fake out to the downside, and then price went up. But what I did was I waited a little bit. Well, on one account, so that's the thing. On my funded account, my Forex Funds funded account, in the tape, I actually enter from here. But the 300K, because I don't have to show that one to you all, right? I can just trade it as I want to, as normal. I can obey my process. So it's amazing how the mind works, right? And I actually took a payout. It hit TP, actually took a payout from that funded account, right? And took this trade on some other accounts as well. Right, so on my accounts that I don't have to show you all, I took my process entry, right? But on this one, there's these doubts. There's me thinking about being critiqued, right? So that's something that I have to grow out of, because I want to run a trading floor, right? So this is all about personal development and growth. So that's one thing when it comes to the entry. And then the size, it should have been at least 2%. I risked 1% here, should have been at least 2%, right? So I would be much further. I would have been a lot closer to the goal. But this is a part of the game, so I'll do much better on the next trade. In regards to trade management, so I had 3 TPs. TP1 was this 4 hour zone here. TP2 was here, and then TP3 is here, right? So we never reached TP3. We reached TP2. So I took 85% out of the market here at TP1. At TP2, that's when I put my stop loss here and break even. And I don't think I had that one on tape, because I think you know, I woke up and did that one. I can't remember, or it was at the end of the day, and I'm not sure if I filmed that particular one. You know what? I think when it started retracing, I did that one a little bit later in the day, like after the close. So my stop loss was here at TP1, right? So that, you know, if price, I was gonna hold it up to TP3, but if price rejected and came down here, you know, I would get stopped out, but I would still make money from that that trade that I had open, what I had left on the books, right? So when you take 85% out, that's me wanting to get my, you know, a good R&R on the first, you know, the bulk of the trade is at the first TP, which is normally around 1 to 3, right? But what I did was, and so that 15%, that 15% it doesn't seem like a lot on a smaller account, but it's a lot more when you have larger accounts, right? That 15% of that, if you continue to hold it, it can be a few $1,000s, right? And as you get higher accounts, you know, it can be in the 5 digits, right? So that's just a practice that I normally do. So trade management was pretty good. The entry in size was the worst thing here. That's why I graded myself a C here. The analysis was good, right? My goal was to give proper size to the A setup, you know. So I gave proper size on the first trade of this challenge. This trade I did not, okay? So whenever I take my next trade, I really want to make sure that I'm sizing properly. So my exit was pretty good. I found something that I may want to refine when it comes to exiting. Once I hit TP2, I go to TP1 with the stop loss. I may want to take, so sometimes I go to TP2. Sometimes when it hits TP2, I take out another 7.5%. Sometimes I don't. So that's something that's like kind of discretionary, that's not refined in my playbook. So that's something that I'm going to think about making more mechanical. Okay. All right. So let's get it. This is, you know, I just sped through this review so that I could keep the documentary short. But for me personally, I went into each one of these and I wrote notes for myself so that I can be ready for the next trading day. All right. So I hope this was beneficial. This is something that you should do, and you should have so I had the film here available for me to watch, right? This is critical. This is critical that you have this film, because not only does it give you an accurate reference point, but also it is increasing the amount of reps that you see, right? So when you watch the film, you're increasing the reps, you're increasing the amount of times that you see certain plays in your playbook. And this is what helps you gain confidence, right? I've gotten to a point to where I'm confident enough to trade these setups in front of an audience, right? I never thought I'd be here, but it's just because I've watched the film, I have these plays in my playbook, and I've become very confident trading them and allowing the trades to play out, right? So as you see, if you see this, I just allow this to go to my target zone, right? I wasn't battling with, you know, losing profits or profits escaping me. I've done this so many times that, you know, it's become second nature, right? So I think my biggest battle in this challenge is just having an audience, right? So now that's something that I'm just going to condition my mind and work on. See you on the next trading day. See you in the next clip. Okay, so I'm on the way to the office and I am up in the challenge, you know, above 5%, but I only have 5 days left. So what I'm gonna do is, strategically, I want to wait for the time to run out and get the 14-day extension. Because what I wanna do is, I wanna give myself good 2 to 3 trades. You know, I'll give myself enough to lose if from now moving forward, if my record is 50%, if I take 2 more trades and my record is 50%, I'll still beat the challenge at a 1 to 3 R&R on both of those trades, right? So I take 1 loss, I go down to 2.5%, and then my next trade is a win. That's it. That's all I'll need to pass the challenge. I only have 5 days, so this is going to be a strategic move here. So I want you all to see these types of things, because you know, sometimes we jump in these challenges and we want to win right away, and that's what kills us. Sometimes we enter into a desperate mode, or we start to gamble the account, but it's all strategy, you know? It's all strategy. And then also right now, I am 7.49% up in the top tier 300k challenge as well. You know, I've been more conservative on this account. Honestly, I am a human being. And sometimes when I took trades on this account, I thought about you all. Like, hey, well, should I be a little less risky? Which took me away from my plan. It's the only reason why I haven't passed it yet. Because both of those trades were good ace setups. I didn't get my full risk in on my second trade. That would have ended it. The very last trade I took, I only got a portion of my risk in. We took the W, and then you know, we could have had closed it out. But that's just a part of it. That's why this is good. This docu-series is a really good thing for everyone to see, because what I'm showing you is through patience and waiting on ace setups, you can beat the challenge. I had a lot going on. You know, during the challenge, I got funded with other accounts, other prop firms, and I also got payouts as well. It's good to see that it won't look perfect. And people that they say, you know, they show you, hey, I passed it in 1 hour or 2 hours. That may not be the norm, and you know, it may take you some time. It may take a 14-day extension. Maybe not. It may not be the market. It may be things you have going on in your own life. You know, so you have to be kind to yourself. You have to stay disciplined. You have to focus on your plan and your process, and you will be successful. So one other thing that is a part of my daily routine, I do it almost every day, is I listen to chapter 2 of One Good Trade, the book. It's just become so normal, so much part of my routine. It's like a mantra. One good trade, one good trade. All I'm looking for is one good trade. If I take a loss, I move on, and I'm looking for the next one good trade, right? So that is something that I do, and I'm gonna do that now. And then I'll see you guys in the office. And I'm going to be starting with my daily report card. I've already did my prayer. I did some visualization. I looked at my vision board. I've already said my chief aim statement, which I told you all about. These are all things to help prepare my mind. And they have just become second nature. Just a part of what I do every day to prepare for my time in the markets. And you know, this took time to get to this level. To get to this space, as well as it took time for my mind to see these accounts as smaller, right? At one point, I was trading a $100 account, and you know, I was seeing $40 profits, $20 profits. I was trading a 5K account, personal account. I was seeing $100, $150, $230 profit, right? And my first 100K FTMO challenge, I had to do the free repeat, because I actually could not hold my trades to target, to TP, because I had never seen so much money in the MT4 in the MetaTrader before. I'd never seen so much money, and even though it was a challenge, I had my money on the line, right? I paid maybe what $650 for that 100K challenge. So because of that, I had money on the line, right? And at that time, I saw it as all or nothing, right? So I did a free repeat because I just couldn't hold to target. My R&R was terrible. I would take a 1% loss, losing 1,000. But when it came to winning, I would only hold to 1-to-1, right? So my winners weren't taking care of my losses, right? Which is it's a big problem. Can't win the challenge that way. So it took time. It took time to go through those experiences, and now seeing 300K challenges, being being funded almost close to my goal of $1 million in funding. You know, 300k accounts, they're like 50k accounts, right? In my view, by God's mercy and through hard work and through me just training my perspective, you know. So you'll get there. Just keep working. That's all I say. Just keep working and keep your vision big. Keep your vision big. So I'm already, as I inch closer and closer to my $1 billion in funding goal, I'm already saying, okay, how can I do 10 million? How can I trade with $10 million, right? Because if I'm trading with $10 million, our 1% is it's a different level, right? It's a whole entirely different level. Just to give you an idea, let's just say, you know, I have 3 million of that in one account. My 1% is a lot different than it is now. If I'm doing if I have 3 million and I'm risking 1%, I'm risking 30k per trade, right? Just one trade, I can make $90,000 in one trade. That's a different level. It's a different level, right? And the thing about it is, as I continue to grow in my ability to manage larger capital, my trading skills are growing as well. My trading tools are expanding. My playbook is expanding, right? So, you know, let's just focus on the skill right now. The numbers will grow. Let's get into the office and let's start filling out the daily report card, doing our markup. And so I'm currently up 5% on the challenge, and I was expecting that I would be able to do the free extension. So the problem is, I just received some news. I didn't understand this about about My Forex Funds. Actually, you have to be up 6% for an automatic extension. With FTMO, it's 5%. So that was an oversight on my part. I was actually up 6% at one point, and I was just letting the position run. I could have, you know, closed above 6%. But so let's see. So I asked, how can I request? She let me know that it's above. If you're above 6%, then it's automatically, you know, the button will automatically appear in the top of your dashboard. If you are below 6% here, if profit is above the initial balance, then you will need to send your extension request to evaluation at MyForexFunds.com, so we can evaluate the trading behavior on your account to determine if we will approve the request. Okay, so man, I wasn't expecting this, but you know, you live and you learn. So let's see. So no, I will send the email. Okay, so I only have about 4 days left. So let me go ahead and send this email. I don't want to try to scalp 1%, but if I have to, then I will, so I can get that expiration, that extension. But let's see. So you know, this is a part of it. As you do things with different prop firms, you learn different rules. I mean, it's just a part of the game. If I have to start over from the beginning, that's it. But they should see my trading behavior. It's not erratic. I wasn't risking crazy amounts. Let's see. All right, so hopefully it all goes well and they accept it. I'll keep you all updated. See you in the next clip. All right, so let's see. I received an email back for the extension request. Let's see what they say. So Claire says, hello Abdullah, I hope you are doing well. You have been awarded an extension for 2 weeks on the same account. Let's go. Let's go to the dashboard. Okay, so we have 18 days left. Let's get it. I mean, just think about it. Now, I started the challenge at 30 days, went up 5%. Now, all I need is 3% left. I have 18 days, which I think is more than enough. So if I see an A+ setup, which I believe I'm ready for right now here, then I'm gonna take it. So what I'm looking at is US 30. I'm looking at a reversal pattern here in US 30. So there are fast reversal patterns and slow reversal patterns. What happens with US 30 is after the uptrend or the markup, we saw markup here, then we saw a reaccumulation. So we were in accumulating orders here, price went on the uptrend, it went into a reaccumulation. They accumulated more orders and went through that process that took a few days, and then they went up. So now we went into sideways movement again, which is a sign of distribution for the decline, for the downtrend. So when we saw the 4 hour, we saw making higher lows here, okay, and then we saw saw a break of structure, a supply zone was created, and then you know, price finally broke. It looks like it's breaking here. So what I'm gonna be looking at for the rest of the week is let's see how the day ends today. We have this bearish candle that broke through this zone. See, price broke through that zone, and you know, we have a few things here. We have like a 1 hour supply zone that created, just a break and retest here. So if we get a return to this zone here for a retest, and we get price action here in this zone, I'm taking it. So I'm gonna be looking for price action in this zone, and I'm gonna take the trade here. So I don't need a full trade. If I get my price action on the lower time frame, price goes back up and get my price action on the lower time frame, then I'll be looking to take that trade here. I don't even need a full 1 to 3, really, just like a 1 to 1. But what I do is when I'm close, I wait for actual A setups, and I give the risk, and I just don't hold until the 3R target, right? I just close it early. So great news, I got the free extension, and we are up 5%, and let's see how things go. All right, so see you in the next clip. Okay, so we're up in the challenge, very close. Yesterday we did the 14-day extension, so we have about 17 days left, so we're in a good place. Today, US 30 has a really nice setup. Last night I marked it up, and this could actually be a setup that could take us over 8%. So solid 8 setup. I've been very patient in the market, looking forward to getting to the office and you know, seeing what happens in the market. So you know, these are the moments when your patience and your discipline kicks in, because you can get FOMO as well as you can hesitate, right? Because number one, I'm up 5%, past 5%. I'm very close to the goal. This one trade can take me over, but also this one trade can set me back, right? So you can get FOMO because you want to take the trade, you want to win. You don't want the trade to go without you. Also, you can hesitate in this moment because you don't want to lose, but you can't think of any of that. You're gonna have to you gotta ignore the situation itself and focus on the process, right? Focus on your plan. Focus on trading a series of trades, right? So if I lose today, I'll still have 2 more trades after this, right? So I'm giving myself 3 more trades back down to break even, right? If I lose today on an A setup and then win on the next A setup, I can beat the challenge, right? So, and then if I lose 2 times and then win on the 3rd time, trading A setups, then I'll go back above 5%. And I believe MFF has a second 14-day extension, right? So, you know, I'm in a great spot, and right now, the only thing I need to focus on is process. That's it. Trading a series of trades, not this one trade. It's about the series. So let's see what it is. So I'm gonna wait. Prices in my zone. I'm gonna look for you know, my lower time frame confirmations, and I'll pull the trigger once I see them. Okay. Gotta pull up to the store real quick. just grab something real quick for my son for school. I'll see y'all in the office. I'm at the desk now, and my goal today is to give a setup proper risk. Okay, so today's the 26th. So I'm gonna mark up and get ready, set everything up, make sure everything is ready to go. So something that's interesting is that's very interesting is that there's no major USD news today, so that's good. So I didn't read my chief statement. I'm going to do my Forex Factory there. I'm going to get my markup in since we're getting kind of close to the open, and then I'll have to do my chief aim statement, vision board, and the visualization. I'll do that. I'll choose to do that next. So, all right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to erase everything, and I'm going to start from the beginning. So I'm gonna do my markup, then I'm gonna make sure my MT5 is all set up. Okay. Now yesterday I marked up NAS 100 and SPX, and man, NAS gave a pullback. So after it broke, it gave a pullback, and now it was falling. If I traded NAS, I'll most likely be selling that SPX 500, rejecting. Let's see. Okay, so let's get to US 30. All right, so starting with I'm just gonna take a look at the weekly again. So the weekly is bullish, but the reversal can come. Normally I take a look at the weekly just to see the sentiment for the past few weeks. This is more of a doji, bearish candle. These are dojis here, here, and then reversal. Doji, reversal. Doji, 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 reversal, right? Doji, reversal. So this is kind of like a doji, but more bearish sentiment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the daily now. And so yeah, as I explained, I use the 4 market phases. So what this looks like, appears to be right now, is it appears that this was a distribution phase here, and that we are potentially going to enter into decline. Everything is always potential. Nothing is absolute when it comes to the market. Okay, so now on the daily, my levels that I'm looking at are here. Just drag that over. Look at this. Price came to this area and even came further and rejected. You see, so we can't deny that. So when I'm doing daily zones, it's just an area, and this is the last swing point, most recent. Price couldn't break through. Once it broke through, came back, retested, and shot up from this area. So this is the most recent swing point. So I'm gonna put my zone there, and then price sat on top of it there while it was in the distribution. The price was getting lower, right? If we just look at this from like a, if we want to look at patterns, this almost looks like a double top, right, with a neckline. So what I'm looking at from the daily is for price to push up here and then continue. Okay, that's my daily scenario A. Now, it doesn't look like this will happen, but you can never be too certain. Okay, so before I buy, I really would want price to come above this zone, this point right here. Okay, so I'm gonna be patient before I buy. That's what I would be looking for, because that means that price would break this point on the daily. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. And then I'm looking to hold that trade. If I look at the daily zone, just look at this. See price coming here and rejecting here. Okay, so it's that wide area. We want to go down to the 4 hour and look at it soon. But price, so I'm looking to hold to here from the daily perspective. So I would like for, if price came up about 50% of this bearish engulfing candle that broke this zone. See, price was sitting there. Price broke that zone, right? If price would do that, come about 50%, that'll be wonderful, wonderful. And gave price action. So now I'm gonna go to the 4 hour and I'm gonna mark some tighter zones. So price was sitting here. Price was sitting here. Price was sitting here. Couldn't break this zone. This was our zone of this is our zone that acted as our support, right? Price couldn't quite break it. But so we have a dilemma now, and this often happens on US 30. So we have a zone here, price is underneath that zone, and we have a zone here, right? So this happens on US 30, where you have two potential zones that you can sell from. So ideally, we would want price to come up here, but price may not. It may melt from here. Okay, these are some strong rejection wick candles, but price can always give that, you know, illusion and then continue down. Let's see. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, so let's go down. So I'm gonna go down another time frame. So this is 4 hour. Scenario A, scenario B. Okay, so 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. This is the resistance right here. Okay, and this is tight. So price broke structure on the 1 hour. Lower low, lower low. So it broke. In this zone, there's a drop, base, drop, right? So this would be ideal, but may not happen. Okay, so we're looking for one good trade. Let's see what's happening on the 15-minute. Yeah, this is beautiful here because this happened during New York, the London session. Okay, so strong bullish move to the upside. We need some signs that we're gonna go bearish after this big bullish candle. It's happening on the 5-minute. Yep. Okay, let's see. So we need some signs. So we'll see. We need some signs to know if we're gonna sell at this zone or if it's gonna go up. So what I'll be looking for is a bearish candle, 5-minute breaker structure. All right. So I'm close to the goal right now, and still have 18 days. So I'm going to be waiting for my A+ confirmations. All we need is one good trade. Okay. All right. So now let me. I'm just logging into my MyForex account to show you guys where we are. Okay. All right. So take a look. 17 days left. I was granted with the free extension. So I'm gonna risk 2.5% on my next trade, on my next A setup. So we're in decline. If I get 15-minute candle, 5-minute breaker structure, then I'm gonna sell it from this zone. I need both of those. So if you take a look here, we have a minor zone right here. So see, price is a minor zone right there. Ideally, if price broke that zone and gave us a retest, that would be a great confirmation here. Boom. That would be a great confirmation, right? Because on the 15-minute, price created a new high and a higher low here, right? So I'm not gonna get FOMO. So I can get FOMO and sell right now, but there's no point. If price breaks this zone, normally it'll give us a quick retest and then the drop. Okay, so let's see. If price continues up and goes up to our higher zone, then we know what to do as well up there. Okay, so 5-minute, nothing is certain, right? But with my additional confirmations on the lower time frame, that, you know, that'll help us out. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is a zone. If we get a 5-minute, you know, BOS, then we're gonna take it. All right, so let me make sure that, normally what I do is I'll go to my MT5 and I'll make sure that everything is all set up and ready for the market. And then I'm gonna take a look at, let me store, before I do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save a new template here. I only want this to appear 15 minute and 5 minute. Okay. All right, so we know what we're looking for. Okay. Now, all right. I'm just gonna send some love to my Discord community. Let them know what I'm looking at. Okay. All right. So gave some love to the Discord, community. Let's see what everybody's talking about. All right. So people are showing profits. Somebody called Nas. Yeah, that Nas play was beautiful. All right. Let's go. So let's go back. So yeah. So we know what we're gonna do. All right. Now let me finish out. So I got my daily markup. And let me post this in my DRC. Right now it looks like it's an overview. So let me fill all of this in. So market. So here's my before. Let me talk to myself real quick. What are the most important technical levels for me? They are 33,650 and 33,700. Price is close to 33,650. The market broke out of distribution. The market broke out of distribution. The market broke out of distribution and is potentially looking at a decline. Okay. Price broke. Two zones. Interest. Okay, what is the market most concerned about? Inflation, rising interest rates, the recession, inflation. Rising interest rates. These are the biggest concerns right now, and we are at the end of the month, so stay locked in. All we need is one good trade. Okay, all right. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at Fin Screener, look at earnings calls for today. Earnings for US 30. So these guys with these big market caps are selling. We have sales. GE, Google. Look at this. Woo-wee. Yep. So let's say like, so this is for the 25th. This is a Wednesday, and so this is up to Wednesday here. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at Coca-Cola. Trading views flaking out on me. Now, one thing I want to mention, I do understand that price has closed with a big bullish pin bar and a doji, right? And that's fine. What I want you to look at is look at this. Look at this. Big bullish engulfing, massive bullish candle. Pin bar, doji, bearish candle. Big bullish pin bar followed by a bearish engulfing candle, right? So sometimes you'll see, you know, a bullish pin bar, but just because you see it doesn't mean that we're going up, okay? There's a lot of other factors. And we were just looking at FinScreener, and FinScreener is gonna point out the fact that, yeah, companies are selling. There's a lot more factors than just looking at the chart, right? So let's see. So, ooh. Look at yesterday. So yesterday, big bearish candle, big sell. So we have reached a massive point. So we have a lot of downside on Coca-Cola. So that could impact what happens with US 30. Let's see. Okay, I'm just taking a look at some of the market structure of some of these companies. Ooh. Big sell-off here. Strong buy. Okay. So it looks like Google, some of the really big boys like Google, GE tomorrow earnings. So let's see. All right. Entered into like a distribution. Now it's selling. Okay. All right. Here we go. So let's see. So the challenge here is that you have, like, if we look at, you know, with the bigger companies, you have a variety of companies and things are happening, right? So the Dow is made up of different companies. So looking at the earnings can give us a hint, but things won't ever be certain. Look at SPX, broke that zone and broke this zone. Is looking very weak. All right, so let's see. US 30 moves a little different than NAS and SPX. It's calculated a little bit differently. Okay. So let's see. Stay locked in. All right, MetaTrader. Make sure MetaTrader's all set up. So right now on the 1 hour time frame, it's bullish. So let's see, but it's stuck at this resistance. So let's see what happens. 5 minute is creating a uptrend, broke structure, lower low, and it's trending up, right? So at this point, there's no reason to sell yet. So let's see. The big boys will show their hand. So let's just be patient. All right, let me set up the MetaTrader. Logging into my VPS. Okay, I'm gonna set up my MetaTrader and my social tools, and I don't want to expose all of my accounts. So just give me a second. Just take a look at this one, and let me just. So I'm gonna send. Bro, I gotta pee. All right, hold up. All right, I'm back. Okay, so price is making it easy for us because it's pushing up. So yeah, price is making it easy for us. See, this is a hard scenario when price is just it's in that zone, and then you know, if it gives us price action for the sell. But if we look at this, you know, it's pushing up right now, so we're gonna wait and see. So let's see what happens, because what could happen is, I mean, it's still in the zone, so it still can sell from right there. What could happen is they can trap the buyers who are trying to time the reversal. And then, because let me show you something. So here, there are some people that are looking at the market this way. They see this, see the resistance, You're gonna look at the market there and you're gonna try to buy, okay? You're gonna try to buy the pullback. So when this happens, some people try to buy, they try to time the bottom and buy up, okay? So those traders are maybe looking at the market like that, okay? All right, so let's see. Okay, let me hurry up and get my MT5 set up. Let me just want to test out my EA, make sure everything's working correctly. Okay. So just watch out for the fake outs. Keep your eye on the lower time frame. I'm gonna set an alarm for price if price breaks this point right here. Okay, just in case I'm not looking. All right. Okay, so set up my MT5. I'm gonna take this screen, leave you guys there for a minute. So I want to expose all my account information. All right, so trading panel. Okay, so I'm not gonna get FOMO here. So the prices, you see this candle on the 15-minute. See a drop there. It's right before the market is opening. People could be, whoever bought here, people could be potentially taking profits, but it's easy to get FOMO here and start buying right before the market. I mean, start selling right before the market is open. So let's see. Let's get let the market open and let's see. Because this can close as a doji. T to the upside. So let's see. I want a strong close. Look at that. Let's see. Let's wait for confirmation. Don't get FOMO. If you don't wonder what I'm doing, I'm just processing what's happening. I'm just waiting. Now, if this is swallowed up, then that's a sign that we may be going up. If this pushes up, grabs liquidity and drops, then we're going down. It's highly likely that we're going down. It's a waiting game now. See what price tells us. So we got aggressive buying going on right now. And you know, my trigger finger is itchy, especially after this bearish 30-minute bearish engulfing. But at the open, that wasn't behavior from the open. That was behavior from right before. So let's see. See how this candle closes. So don't pull the trigger until what you see is like so obvious that you would be dumb not to take it. So for me, it's not so obvious yet. This looks great right here, bearish engulfing. But the New York Open, I'm just looking to see how the candles close and how rejection acts. Yeah, price is looking weak. Let's get plugged in. let's see. Let's get the, give me the retest. I'll take it now, it's too low. All right, so I'm not gonna jump in right now. I'm just gonna wait and see if I get the retest. Get the retest. Yep, that's it. This is my confirmations are there. So hopefully, let me see if there's any way for me to get in current price. Yes, but let me see, 1 to 2. I'm only aiming for 1 to 2 since that's all I needed in order to pass it. So, could be a little risky. Yeah, let's let it go up. Come on, tag me in. Let's see. All right, you just need one good trade. I should have market executed right there. All right, so let's see. I can get price up there. Be patient and don't chase it. All right, now let's see. R&R is not too good unless I put my stop loss very tight, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna stay locked in, wait for another opportunity to get in. So price beautifully closed with all the signs that it's gonna sell. Small risk here. It's not a good entry though. Right above the 5-minute zone. Let's see. Right. Let's see, now I can get better entry. So, not the best entry, but we're in, so let's see. We got all the signs that it's gonna go down. Right now, all we can do is just wait and see. Price looks like it's gonna melt. If we look here, price looks like it's gonna melt. We got a bearish engulfing on the 15-minute. One could trade, right? So bearish engulfing on the 15-minute. Bearish gravestone doji on the 15-minute. Right, so these are all big signs. 30-minute gravestone doji. Okay. All right, so now let's look at where. I think if both of these hit TP right here, I could probably win the challenge. So let's see. Here at 6, and if it gets stopped out, it gets stopped out. But get stopped out of this position. That's just on me for bad execution. But this one, I need to go a little bit higher here. So let's see. Here and drops, then we will pass challenge. Now, one thing I have to guard myself from doing is trading according to passing the challenge rather than trading my plan, right? So what I want to do is get a 1 to 3, but instead of getting the 1 to 3, what I did was I took a 1 to 2, right? Because I said, hey, all I need is a 1 to 2 to pass the challenge. But that wasn't my initial intent. So even, I mean, we're all human and all subject to error. So that's an error on my part. But if we look at price broke this zone here on the 5-minute, okay? And it's creating lower. Alright, so price broke, created a new low. Then we have a lower high, pin bar. So regardless of how this trade turns out, I followed my playbook. So I got candles on the 15-minute and 5-minute, breaker structure. Some could consider this like a head and shoulders. These are all patterns, right? Now, again, looking at the big picture, price can spike up. Can. Sometimes it does. But as of right now, what we're seeing is that it's more aggressive selling than aggressive buying. So let's see. So I'm gonna set alarms here. US 30 approaching P. US 30 approaching, so So let's see. There's no reason to celebrate until the trade is done. So just stay locked in. At any moment, a big buyer can come in and take this up. So can't revenge trade, or the outcome is random. Even though the patterns are the same, the outcome is random. So the 1 minute price got very weak. Price went up, did a tweezer tops on the 1 minute. Price is looking very weak right now at this moment. Price fails, then I may be looking to scale in to close it out easily. So tested the commitment of the buyers here to see how committed they were. 9 o'clock, 1 hour candle, bearish engulfing. Let's see if it closes. Bearish engulfing. Come on, 30. Fall out the sky for your boy. It's gonna fall out the sky, man. Gonna fall out the sky. All right, we're looking at the numbers fluctuate right now. There's a 1 hour telling us. 1 hour is telling us that for 1 hour, it's not strong enough. Buyer, it's calm. Woo. That 30-minute candle is looking beautiful. Beautiful. Let's go. All right, we're looking great. Collapsed. Boys is gonna start panicking. All right, now if we drop down, as soon as we cross 24K, I'm closing. Thought I got better entries, then I would be done right now. So, you know, that's something, but let's see. All right, now let's just be patient. Now the art of holding is an art itself, right? So TP is looking great, big bearish engulfing. 30-minute looks great, 15-minute looks great, 5-minute is looking amazing. All right, switch over. So again, price can just tank, melt from right here, or a buyer can come in and price can just go back higher. So let's see. Some people start panicking. It's all a big game. So, let's see. Yeah, a lot of times what happens is once price breaks the major zone, like we see here, people will start panicking because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose out on the opportunity to sell at a higher price. So again, price can it can go higher, but once that sell comes out of distribution, it's a high chance, a high probability that, you know, price will sell. So let's see. So big bearish candle here. And so my early days, when I would start to see price go against me, I would get so caught up in the numbers, right, fluctuating, and I would stop reading the chart. Mark Douglas talks about this. He talks about how, you know, when you're in like fight or flight mode, then you can't read the chart correctly, right? So if I look at the chart, I have a big, massive bearish engulfing candle on the daily. The 4 hour, I have a broke through two zones. Price went to that zone and couldn't push through, right? On the 1 hour, price went back to that resistance, gave me a big, massive bearish 1 hour candle. 15-minute and the 30-minute as well, both have bearish engulfing and gravestone doji candles, right? 5-minute broke structure and gave me a double top, right? So, and then now I just have like a bearish engulfing right here. So a few mistakes that I made. One mistake that I made is I did not get a good entry. If I would have gotten a good entry, then I would already be done. That's one thing. Okay. Number 2 is patience now. 5-minute broke structure. The 15-minute pretty much broke. And you know, it would just take a big buyer to come in, push the market up. So let's see. It's all out of my hands. Did what I did, and it's all the patience thing now. So I know you probably want to see these numbers. So let's see. So I'm gonna stay locked in right now, because what I want to do is when price goes down to like right above 24K, I want to be here to close it. I'm gonna close both positions with a shortcut key. Just let it play out. Once you're in a winning trade, just gotta let the trade play out. Don't mess with it unless that's in your trading plan. We let the trades run to stop loss, but we don't want to let it run to TPR. Let me stop running my mouth and let me get ready to close this. We're at 32,000. Yeah, 21,000 profit. Now, even though price is close, it can always reverse. It doesn't matter. Stay locked in. So we're at 33,000. Come on, let's go 30. Let's go. Drop, baby, drop. Come on. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Price can drop. Price can reverse at any time. So let's stay locked in. Once I get above 34,000, I'm closing this with a hotkey. Very close. We crossed it. Crossed it. Come on. So we actually crossed 34,000. Damn it. I shouldn't have did it. Oh, man, Abdullah. Okay, you got too anxious. Price is gonna drop. It's gonna drop. You got too anxious, man. You should just let it. You should just let it drop. Got too anxious. Okay. Now I gotta continue. And look for more trades. Dang it. All right, well. Should just let it go, man. All right. Yeah, it would have hit TP. Dang, man. Why did I do that? Oh, man. Okay, well. All right, I need a moment. I need to take a moment. All right, so let me tell you all what I'm doing. I am just talking to the Discord group. Just talking to the Discord group, announcing, you know, everybody. I already called out the play, letting them know what happened. And you'll see this if you're in Discord. You'll see this. Yeah, so I don't feel good because this happened. But yeah, this is just a part of the game. I never really this account took much longer for me to beat because I have people watching. So I'm thinking about people. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Man, my TP was murdered. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just lock back in, and I'm just gonna look and see if I have the opportunity to, you know, trade and make the other 400. So let's see if I get another opportunity. But price tanked. It smashed my TP. All I had to do was be patient and let it hit. But yeah, so made that mistake. You know, it's just a part of the game. It's just a part of the game. I'm gonna just drop. Let me just stay locked in. That's what I'm gonna do. Stay locked in. So one good trade. Now next trade. Okay. So let me see if there's opportunities for another trade. Another one good trade right now. So price broke this 1 hour support here. All right, so now I am looking for another opportunity. Price is reapproaching, you know, that zone that it broke. It's another 4-hour zone. It's broken, so let's see. Okay, so I potentially have another entry here. So I think that I'm gonna take it. A lot of downside on this trade. This is according to the playbook, so drop. Let's drop. So right now, I go to my daily report card as well, and my temperature. I just talk to myself for a minute. It's 11 o'clock. Temperature is hot. So stay locked in. So my if-then scenarios for here for this price would be, so now look, so price is approaching this zone it originally broke from here, and I want to see that price is rejecting here, this area. So 15-minute how to break a structure. Whenever that happens, that's a good sign. So huge, massive push up. We inverted the chart. Look at what we're seeing, right? So this is a great setup here. Now we just need to see that the 5-minute and 1 minute is going to reject here. So 1 minute, there's a tweezer top. Let's see rejection from here, and then we can take the trade. So let's see, stay locked in. So what happens is, in the beginning of my journey, I would have gotten emotional, would have walked away, but one good trade, looking for the next one good trade. That's all we're doing right here. So if I can get another one good trade for the day, then I'm good. So stay locked in, just like we were locked in earlier, waiting for this setup to appear. So there's no reason to take a sell if you don't see rejection. I mean, now, yes, let's look at the daily. So let's go back to the zoom out. So you see this big, long wick. The daily has not closed yet. So this actually can close as a bearish candle. If you record your screens, you get used to seeing things like this where price rejects and people think it's gonna buy. And then all of a sudden it ends up bearish again, right? So, there's a demand zone, 4 hour here. Price can touch the demand zone and shoot up. That's always a possibility, but we are entered into the decline phase. So you have to take the trade that is most its highest probability. So 1 hour, 15-minute. See the bearish candle here. 15-minute. 5 minutes. 1 minute. Now, one thing that you can do for yourself is when you're trying to enter into a trade, if the 1 minute doesn't break the structure, then there's no reason to take the trade, right? So I think I'm going to enter, but I'm going to wait for the 1 minute to break structure. Now this is a very small loss, you know, but I'm trying to ensure that I am taking trades from my playbook, right? That's what you always want to make sure you're doing. So let's see. So tweezers on the 1 minute, tweezers, evening star. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the 1 minute here, the 5 minute here. I'm gonna watch these two. Looking for the next one good trade, regardless of the outcome. So just look at what happened. We got the 1 minute breaker structure here. That's a sign that price is gonna, that could potentially reverse, right? So we had this neckline of the 5 minute and the 15 minute was retested here. So see the neckline. Neckline is retested. 5 minute evening star on the neckline. Most times at that second entry, there's not going to be a lot of It's not gonna be a lot of confirmations like we had earlier, because what I believe they're doing, from my own experience, is that they're going back. So price comes down here, they sell off, and then they want to sell at a higher price, so they don't sell everything completely right there, right? So you have a pullback. So here we look at the 15-minute, we have the new low that's created there, and now price is back above this 4-hour zone. So you know, we can you know, we can just anticipate that price will potentially drop. So let's see what happens. And you know, price would have to. Price, you know, price can do anything at this point. You know, it can go all the way down, hit our TP easily do that. So let's see. All right, so let's see what it do. Yeah. If it's a loss, it's a small loss. You know. Stop loss is kind of tight, but small loss. So let's see. Now, remember, we are counting on us being in the decline phase. And we're counting on people selling off, right? So higher time frame is in decline, and what I'm counting on is for us to create a daily bearish candle. You know, price can do anything, but look at the price action: 15-minute breaker structure, 30-minute breaker structure, and a new low created. 1 hour. You know, we went lower. So the 30-minute, 15-minute, and below are all, you know, showing signs of us going down, going lower. So I'm just gonna let this play out. Look at the 1-minute time frame is falling. Right. 1-minute time frame, 1-minute candles are constantly bearish, one engulfing another after. And so I should have looked at the 1 minute before I close it manually, but you know, it's part of the game. Make mistakes. Now, if we were in a live account, I would be up 23K. I could take my profits. So that's what you always gotta remember. Don't get too down on yourself. You have, you know, these challenges, you know, they cause us to kind of doubt ourselves. But if this was a funded account, like my other funded accounts, I mean, 23,000, I wouldn't be mad or upset or sad. I'd be grateful. So let's see. 15-minute candle closing as a bearish pin bar, so that's great. Yep. 30-minute closing as a bearish pin bar. Went up to that zone. So 15-minute evening star. Right. So all great signs. Now, if I wasn't worried about you all watching me, I would be trading a lot more aggressive. So that's one thing I gotta just remember, is that I've changed my trading a little bit since everybody's watching, right? So this is a new level for me, trading in front of people. So it's something I gotta write in my playbook and work on, because eventually I want to run like a trading floor. So I gotta be able to execute at my highest, even when people are watching. Right? So there we go. Let's see. It's all looking good. So this is a scaling opportunity right here, right? So, you normally, you know, price hit the TP, and based on structure, price still giving us you know, structure for the sell. So let's see. The patterns are the same, but the outcomes are different. So we never know what is actually going to happen, right? So, you know, could have got down on myself and walked away, but price can easily just make its way down there, never go back up. So just gotta stay calm and yeah, just wait. Closer and closer. 32, 323,000. So I just want to remind everybody, I try not to get into the emotion of, you know, things dropping and going up and dropping and going up, because, you know, it started to drop just now, but it started to reverse, you know. That's just a part of the game. So I'm thankful. And I'm hoping that price reverses here and breaks this structure. See, if price breaks this zone here, then we'll be looking really good for the downside move. I mean, we're already looking really good. Don't get me wrong. We're already looking very good. Price may not drop all the way today. Price can range a little bit and then drop, or may, you know, drop overnight. So I'll hold this. If you look at the 4-hour candle, most of it is bearish, but there is either people taking profits or aggressive buying happening, right? But still, you still can't deny, as I mentioned before, look at this bullish pin bar here, right? You cannot deny what is happening at the higher time frame, which is we're going into a decline. And once we go into a decline, buyers start to panic. And you know, people, the big institutional traders won't sell every single thing all at once, because then they'll just continue to drive prices lower, and they'll get worse deals on their you know, on their contracts, their positions that they're trying to sell. So tomorrow looks like a big sell day on fin screening. So I'm just gonna have patience and wait, and be calm. That's what we need to do. Just be calm and just wait for the setup to for your setup to unravel. So what I'm looking at right now even is just it's looks very good. Price is going to close here in a few, very close to the target. So you know, don't become anxious. Just wait. Waiting serves us best. I just realized something. So funny. I didn't risk 0.1%. I should have risked 0.1%. Should have did this earlier today. What I should have did, I shouldn't put it up above like 200. I should have just brought it up a little bit higher. So let's see. Okay, let's see. It all appears that price will hit the TP, but just gotta wait. So I'm hungry. I don't wanna go to Salada, but I'd rather see and celebrate, you know, the victory here. So let's see. US 30 is dying right now, so I don't really expect anybody to come in and buy. They tested the commitment of the buyers here. It broke structure, massive bearish candle, worked its way back up, could not surpass this level, died again. Everything is going lower and lower. So somebody's calling me. Sorry. Man, my recording shut off right when I hit the TP. So, or before it hit the TP. So you missed my celebration, but let's go. Beat the challenge. And man, it's a good feeling. But I want to just say something to you all really quickly. And you know, I just want to tell you all, so I passed the challenge. So happy. But I didn't trade to the best of my ability, right? So there was added pressure here because you all were watching, right? So even though I passed the challenge, I still didn't trade to the best of my ability. And it tells me one thing, that I need to work on my psychology related to trading in front of other people. My goal is for Profit X to become a proprietary firm. I want to run a trading floor. I want to get into automated trading, creating and coding filters, coding bots, maybe get into quant trading, where we do a little bit of discretionary trading as well as automated trading, right? So I need to be able to trade in front of other people, right? So what this did for me, you may have been looking at the 300k My Forex Funds challenge, but for me, it was putting pressure on myself to see if I can follow my process and follow my playbook and handle my emotions in the face of potentially people criticizing me for my decisions, right? So, man, thank you all so much for tuning into this docu-series. Thank you all so much for all of the words of support and words of encouragement. I'm gonna try to get this docu-series edited and done by the end of the weekend. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but you'll see the docu-series. You'll be able to learn, see my daily routine. But yeah, so thank you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you all for your encouragement. I went back in. So see, I could have got emotional and left. I could have got emotional and just walked away, but I have a mantra that I got from Mike Bellafiore. All you need is one good trade from your playbook. So all I did was waited for another one good trade, right? The day is not done until the bell rings, until the NY session is over. That's when it's over. But instead of me walking away, what I did is I stayed at my desk. I waited for another one good trade and I passed the challenge. I'm so thankful. I thank God. I thank my community, the Discord community, for their support. I thank my wife for her support and my family and all of my friends. I called some of my friends today. I said, hey man, look, I need some support, brother. I got close. I made a mistake of manually closing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for an A setup. I'm thinking about scalping it, but I'm just gonna wait for an A setup. One of my boys, well, two of them that I called, and my wife said the same thing. Just wait, you up, you good. Don't worry about the people critiquing you or criticizing you. That's gonna come. The trolls are gonna be there. Just follow your plan, follow your process. And remember, the big picture is my big goal is 3 million in funding, right? But I'm giving myself milestones, right? My big goal as in, you know, end of the year, mid next year, right? So that's my big goal. But the docu-series is meant to help give back, to help people see what it takes to be a professional and what I do at a professional level as a professional prop firm trader. So thank you all so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Episode 3 will come after phase 2. Peace. 300K, My Forex Funds, phase 1 is done. Just got the email. Congratulations, Abdullah. You passed the first.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh boy. Oh. All right, congratulations, Abdullah Rasheed. You have passed the first phase of your evaluation. In order to receive your phase 2 account details, please click the upgrade button on your dashboard. No problem, I will do that. Account status passed. Let's go. All right, let me hit the upgrade button. It's gonna upgrade it. Upgrade it, let's go. It's in the books, done. Welcome to evaluation phase 2. I'm not gonna, I did my review just really quickly, just so that, okay, so I did the review. I'm gonna keep this short, but I'm so happy, passed the challenge. And as I mentioned, this was one of the harder challenges for me just because of the audience. So I'll be working my way on, I'll be working on that. You know, there's levels to this entire thing. So overall, my analysis followed recent playbook setups, right? That's the key for me. This was a clear, this was a clear A setup, clear playbook setup. I sized properly in this trade, so that's another important piece. I improved my hesitation, you know, that I had due to the audience, but my entry was later than it should have been, right? So, you know, that's another thing that when it comes to the audience, I need to react faster. You know, some of those thoughts hinder me a little bit, but I'll be working on conditioning my mind so that phase 2 will be a lot smoother and my execution will be swifter. So I didn't need a full 1 to 3 on this trade, right? So I beat the challenge. I didn't need that much to beat the challenge, right? But both trades that I took today were excellent trades. You know, the analysis again was good. The entry, for my entry number 1, I'm gonna show you the ideal entry here that I had. So price broke the zone here, and then at the start of NY opened up with this strong, massive bearish candle here, right? So what I was just waiting on, I had scenario to sell from here and then to sell higher, as I mentioned before in a previous one of the previous trades that I took. US 30, when it drops, you can see it push through several zones, but here the range happened here, and then it pushed through that zone. I didn't really see it coming back up. I saw that you know, the buyers that were buying here, you know, once price pushed below that support, that meant that there wasn't enough demand there to hold that support, right? So once that happens, normally the buyers, the people that are holding on, will start to panic, and then they will start to sell off, right? So we saw a big massive sell that day, but all I needed was for price to come from here to here. This is my TP1. For TP1, I just needed price to come here. So I didn't need that much of a trade, right? So ideally, after the print of this bearish massive candle, so we saw price come, a big bullish candle, right? We saw price inching up here to this zone, but these are weak candles, weak bullish candles. That massive bearish candle is a sign of aggressive sellers, right? So on the 5-minute, you can't see it here. On the 5-minute, we saw it inching up, and then we saw a break of that 5-minute structure, as well as when price pushed back up here, there was a rejection. So there was some aggressive buying happening, but then it was a fake out, right? So once that printed, I could have entered there, boom, right? Or, you know, person, if they were looking at only the 15-minute, they can put 50% of this bearish candle and enter. If they put their stop loss tight, they would have got stopped out. I didn't get stopped out. I actually entered after this candle started to reject, right? So you saw that I had the urge to enter just because I've seen these scenarios so many times. My subconscious took over, right? So yeah, so the ideal entry would have been there. I would have had a 1 to 3 from here to here, and then, you know, the TP2 wouldn't have been hit. I would have went to break even here. I would have put the trailing stop loss there. after, you know, I took 85%. Normally I would took 85% and then put the stop loss there. What happened is that you saw what happened, right? So my second entry here is, it can be a B setup here where sometimes price, it'll go down and break structure on the 15-minute. So this, you see the structure broke clearly. So we have a double top of the source, but clear break of this support on the 15-minute, and price return here for another entry. So once that happens here, I can give it B or A risk here, right? Because I have a clear break of the 15-minute structure there, okay? I entered there to close out the challenge. The price hit, the TP was around here, and close out the challenge there, right? So what you'll notice is a consistency throughout this challenge with the types of setups that I'm trading, right? And I've become really good at identifying these setups and waiting for them. So this isn't the entirety of my playbook, but what I wanted to prove to everyone is the fact that if you are patient, number one, if you build a playbook and center your trading around it, and those plays are based on data, that's the first thing. Second thing is you want to become very good at trading those particular setups before you start trading other setups, right? And just with good size, right? With good size on your A setups and A+ setups, you can pass these challenges, okay? You can pass phase 1, phase 2, and then and get payouts. So I'll see you in episode 3. What you witnessed in this documentary was me passing the challenge with only a few high quality trades. Creating a playbook and grading the trades were the two best things that I did to help my trading career. From 3 solid trading days, I made $24,000. This took a lot of patience, and I didn't even use all of the trades in my playbook. What I wanted to demonstrate to the ProfitX community and the YouTube community was the power of being patient and waiting on high quality setups that are backed by data. I plan to do the same thing when I'm trading the phase 2 and the funded account. Thank you all for your patience and support of the channel. I appreciate you allowing me to show my flaws, as well as supporting me in understanding that trading a challenge in front of an audience adds a level of pressure that I didn't expect, and it caused me to hesitate at times. But through review and writing in my daily report card, I found that I needed to make an adjustment and ignore you guys. I fought through those thoughts, and you'll see better execution during phase 2. Thank you for your patience with me and my team while we edit this documentary. I'm a full-time trader with my own account, so therefore my first priority is to make a living outside of shooting this documentary. I won't start phase 2 until I have a solid A setup, and I won't release episode 3 until I pass or fail. Please be patient with me. Please like and subscribe if you want to see a pathway from $49 to $300K. Watch this video.